How to deal with lazy people at your job. So this is a topic I really wanted to dive into a little bit more in depth. I know in one of my recent videos a couple of days ago, I talked about why most people hate their jobs. And in that video, one of the points was due to the fact that people are lazy or incompetent, right? So how do you deal with this? How do you somehow, if you're working with somewhere between 5 to 10, 15 people, how do you deal with that on a daily basis? Because from experience, I can say with absolute conviction that no matter where you work, no matter what kind of job it is, no matter what level you get to, whether you're in corporate, whether you're in a different, whatever position you're in, there are going to be lazy people. Whether, like I said, it's corporate, whether it's, the base level, whether it's intermediate, wherever you are, if you're working with other people, there's lazy people everywhere. Everyone's lazy, right? Now, some are less lazy than others, right? Some people are like, there's like degrees of it, meaning there's, some people have 85% laziness. Some people have 95% laziness. Some people have maybe only 50% laziness. Some people less, right? So there's varying degrees and gradations of laziness. But dealing with it at a job, if you're not mentally strong, if you're not able to put your foot down, especially if you're in a leadership role, or if you're not in a leadership role, just working with these people in general, if you're not able to handle it, if you're not able to find a way, which I'm going to discuss obviously here, to deal with it, if you don't know how to change your perspective on it, or like I said, actually if you're able to take action on it, it can make your life miserable, and it can make you extremely negative, and it can build up a lot of toxic, it just make you a bitter, toxic person, right? If you're not careful. So, like I said, I have experience in this, like in my job, running a gas station, being in a leadership role, I have to constantly be on people. And, sometimes they don't like it. Sometimes they listen. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just, I don't know. Sometimes they're just not willing to do shit. But here's the thing. Here's the first thing that will cut a lot of the problem out as far as like just dealing with it. You have to change your perspective on it, right? So when you go to a job, whether you're in a leadership role or not, right, you have to look at that job as, okay, I'm here not to make friends. I'm not here to be nice to people. I'm not here to socialize. I'm not here to do any of that shit. I'm here to cut a check, to pay my bills, and to go home, right? So when you frame it that way, right, you don't need to get involved with all the gossip and all the garbage that comes with, this, because you'll deal with it. Trust me. This person didn't do this person didn't do that. Why did first shift not finish this task? Overnight crew just sits on their ass. They smoke weed on the clock. They bullshit. It never ends, right? So you hear this everywhere you go. Because like I said, I've worked at different locations as far as my gas station chain that I work at. I've worked at different locations. I've worked at like 8 different like stores, right? And like I said, there's a commonality amongst everybody in every store. People like to gossip, people like to blame. And then, like I said, it's not that they're wrong, but if you get involved with it too much, and you feed into, because like I said, I mentioned this in a video a while back, if you feed into it, it can make you a very bitter individual. So here's what you do. You go to your job, right? And if you're in a leadership role, like I said, if you can hold people accountable, kudos to you. Fortunately, I'm able to hold people accountable. So I have some power in this realm that I'm discussing here. But if you don't, and I've been in positions where you don't have control over what people do, or you're just unable to hold them accountable as far as documentation goes and whatnot, you have to just go in and do the best you can do. That's it. If you leave every single day, if you leave your job Monday through Friday, whatever your schedule is, if you leave every day knowing that I outdid every single person there, that can be enough. That can be enough to get you through, and that can be enough to at least tolerate the BS, right? Because like I said, it's not going to go away. People are always going to bullshit. People are always going to gossip. People are always going to complain and say this person didn't do that. But you can take pride when you go to your job, right? Show up on time, be the last one to leave, right? Do all the extra shit. And take pride in the fact that you know you're outdoing everybody. Take pride in the fact that you're like Kobe on the Lakers in like 2015, 2016, right? After they won all those championships. You're like Kobe in the later years with a terrible Lakers team, right? So take pride in the fact that you're like a damn near retired Kobe Bryant putting up 60 points every game, and your team, like, it's like, are you guys catching up or not? Are you guys going to help me out or not? But as far as that goes, just, you have to accept people for what they are, right? Like Kobe, man, I don't know how he did that from 2000. I mean, what was their last championship? 2000. Well, I'm talking obviously when he was a Laker. 2010, they beat the Celtics, right? So after that, they didn't win again until 2020 when LeBron got there. LeBron got there in 2018, but Kobe's last season was 2016. So Kobe went 5 or 6 seasons without a ring. I don't even think they made it to the playoffs. Oh, they did make it to the playoffs in 2011. So 2012 to 2016, 4 seasons, right? Didn't make the playoffs. Terrible teammates, right? But hey, man, he was like, hey, man, I'm just going to play. I'm just going to do the best I can. I'm on my way out, right? And that's the mentality you got to have, right? I'm just going to be the best I am at this job, right? Whether I'm growing in it or not, whether there's a future in it or not, just when you have the mindset that I'm going to show up every day and just outdo every single person on this staff, right? And I'm not saying you got to like make enemies and compete and do all this, just as a pride thing, right? You go in, you do the best you can every day, you go home. You don't worry about what other people are doing over there, right? You just worry about, am I getting my money? Is my money good this week? All right. Am I doing the best I can at my job to excel to the next level if I want to? That's it. That's all you can do, right? And even if you have, here's the thing, even if you're in a leadership role and you can document people and hold them accountable, it's never going to end. You're always going to have to hold people accountable, right? So at the end of the day, right, you can let yourself get worked up about this person sucks, this person won't come in on their days off, or this person milks the clock, this person just whatever, right? There's a bunch of reasons. You can get caught up in that, and that can make you, like I said, it can make it, you're investing a lot of your mental psychic force, your mental energy into that phenomenon, and it's taking away from time that you could be thinking about maybe getting another job, maybe working on a side hustle when I go home, maybe, or like I said, just ignoring it completely and focusing on your part of the job, right? Because sometimes, not in all cases, right? Sometimes you can look at other people like, damn, you're lazy, but you could be lazy yourself at times, right? So there's also a healthy amount of like reflection and self-criticism that you have to evaluate at times and take account for when other people are lazy. Because hey man, sometimes, other people, whether you realize it or not, especially if you're in a leadership role and you're lazy, do not expect your team to sit there and lift the weight that you left behind. Do not expect them to do that shit, because they're getting paid less than you, right? In most cases. And if they're getting paid less, right, you got to think about it. If you're getting paid less than someone above you, and the person above you isn't doing anything, right? You can't sit there and expect people to want to work for you, want to help you out, right? Or by any means, like, work on their day off, So it's like, it sucks. It's difficult working with people, especially, like I said, when your whole team, because like I said, your whole team can be lazy depending on how bad the leadership is, right? If the general manager or the general manager of the store, the location, or wherever you're at, right, is lazy, is incompetent, or doesn't care, right? And maybe you're an associate, maybe you're maybe you're like an assistant manager and you have to deal with this and maybe you don't have control over it. Like I said, you can't get too invested, worried, and caught up in the BS, right? Have that mentality. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do my job to the best I can, right? I'm gonna hold people accountable if I have that, if I have that ability, if I have the ability to do so, if it's in my job description, if it's in my power. And if not, like I said, I'm gonna make sure my money's right. If there's overtime, I'm gonna get my overtime, right? And if there's job opportunity growth, I'm gonna keep taking it as it comes. But this really comes down to, what this really comes down to is you can only control what you do, right? And you really can't control other people. I mean, you can, like I said, holding them accountable, but at the end of the day, having a conversation with someone about their performance and whatnot, you can have that, but if they don't want to change, if they don't want to start acting right, or maybe they have their reasons for why they don't want to work hard, you got to let them be, right? You got to let them be, because like I said, and you know what? It's okay that way, right? Because you got to remember too, success and high achievement and having a lot of money and being a go-getter is not for everybody, and not everyone's born to stand out, be successful, do great things, right? So at the end of the day, you have to look at it like, sometimes I look at it like, you guys are just making this shit a lot easier for me, right? You guys coming in late, you guys not wanting to come in on your days off, you guys not wanting to do this task, you guys wanting to blame this person over here, you guys wanting to complain, wanting to milk the clock over here, say this about this person. You guys are making it a lot easier for me, because you got to realize when other people choose to not be successful. And guys, like I said, being successful in America, I don't care what fucking anybody says. Being successful in America is a choice. If you have the drive and want and desire to do so, you can, right? So people that choose to be lazy, that choose to just milk the clock or do whatever, or gossip, or a combination of everything, thank them, because it's like, you guys are making it a lot easier for me to stand out, whether it's in this company or whether it's in whatever, right? Because like I said, to the degree that you stand out, or to the degree that the majority of your team or people in your company choose to be lazy, it makes it a lot easier for you, because like, hey man, I'm not, like, sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm not really doing too much. I'm just making sure I get everything done. Like sometimes I go the extra mile, I'll stay behind, or, I'll do some extra things, but I'll be real. 90% of the time, I don't stay behind. I don't do extra shit. I just make sure I get everything done for the day, and then I go home. But even just that, people would look at that and like, oh yeah, he's not doing too much. He's just doing his job. Sometimes doing your job nowadays is standing out, right? So doing your job, just getting everything done in a timely fashion, in an efficient manner, right? And working your full schedule, that's enough when people decide to be lazy. So you can thank them for not making it so competitive for you in terms of standing out and maybe, being selected for a promotion or selected for a raise or whatever. So, yeah, guys, like I said, this is extremely difficult. I've had to deal with this for years. And it's just, at a certain point, guys, after years of experience in the workforce, in different jobs and just dealing with people, you get used to it. So if you're new to the workforce, or you've been in a job not too long and you're experiencing this for the first time, I feel for you guys, because it sucks. It sucks. It really does. Like when people, because it doesn't suck because it makes it's not that it sucks because it makes your job harder. It does make your job harder, but it sucks because it's like, yo, is this really your attitude? Is this really your work ethic? Is this really your mindset towards life? It's not, like I said, it's not so much like the workload that comes on you when people are lazy. Like I said, it is, but it's like, yo, people are so fucking deadbeat that they can't even do a basic job. Like sometimes I think to myself, like, damn, you guys can't lift a box. What makes you think you're gonna be able to like do something like immeasurable or crazy or extraordinary? It's really astounding at times. It really is. And I think to myself that all the time, like, damn, you guys can't even make a fucking pizza. You guys can't even go take out the trash. Like, life's a lot harder than taking out the trash and doing like easy menial tasks throughout the day, right? And it's like the fact that people can't do that, you guys should laugh and be thankful that it's like, hey man, you guys are making this shit easy for me, right? You guys are making me stand out by a large degree, varying degrees, right? So yeah, have that mentality and you'll be all right over time, guys. You start to get accustomed to dealing with this stuff, and over time it just starts to not even bother you. So you're all right, you're being a shithead over there, you're being a bum over there. All right, no worries. I'll do my job. I go home. I still do what I do when I go home, right? So have a very regimented mindset and routine about it, right? Don't get too deep into thought. Don't overthink about this person. Don't just go in, get X tasks done at X time when X task is due at X time, and leave at X time, collect X amount of dollars on X week, right? Done. Simple. Just like that, right? So have a very simple, straightforward mindset about it, and you'll be all right. So yeah, that's it. That's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.